Lately, my videos have been talking a lot about Pokemon battles and how they should be handled in Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves. And so I wanted to continue that trend and talk about something else that, considering the setting, we should be wondering about. So hey, I'm not so a strainer, and will there be GYMS? Let's get into it. A while ago, I talked about the possibility of other tropical setting games being used as inspiration for Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, with the Hoenn games and the Alolan games being those other tropical experiences. While Hoenn had everything a regular Pokemon journey usually has, with a Pokemon League that we could achieve by collecting 8 gym badges, Alola had a different and fresh approach that had never been and was never done again in Pokemon, at least on the classic series up until Winds and Waves. And there was the Island Challenge. Instead of gyms, we had trials on each island and eventually the Grand Trial that had us battle against the Island Kahuna. So my question is, since we're once again in a tropical setting and since we're once again going to be going island to island, at least it seems like we are from the website, will they go with gyms or will they do some kind of island challenge? Will they choose to remain as close to classic Pokemon as possible, or since this is the big Gen 10, will they try something new? In my mind, there are good arguments for both. There is a chance that whatever story they have planned for Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves is a bit like what they had for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, in the sense that it can be approached in any or almost any order. Having some sort of island trial instead of just a simple gym or Pokemon battle could make it so there was something we needed to do that wasn't directly affected by the levels of the battles or Pokemon around you. Some sort of puzzle or dungeon you had to get through that was more focused on exploring and discovering an answer to a problem than simply destroying your opposition with Pokemon that are 10 levels above theirs. That would make it so your adventure could really be experienced in a different way from other people depending on what island you go to first or something after you're free, without the levels themselves having a negative impact on your journey. And also, I don't quite remember there being any backlash for the Island Challenge in Alola. I think people quite liked that. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. But then again, there is a reason why they could want gyms back. The Island Challenge was deeply connected to the culture of Alola. It wasn't sold to us as something that simply happened in the region like the overall gym leader circuit in every other one before. That's why in Galar we went back to gyms, which were awesome, but saw a different approach to the Pokemon League. In Galar, unlike in every other region, the Pokemon League is a tournament that sees you not only battle other gym leaders you've faced already, but also the people that started their journeys around the same time as yours. In Scarlet and Violet, everything went back to normal, with a Pokemon League that had an Elite Four and Champion. The big change was of course the order of gyms not being defined and you not being able to rematch the league. But it was all the same, there were gyms and then the league. And that's what I think will happen in Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves as well. We had the gyms changed for one region, then we had the league changed for another. Those are Alola and Galar's things. I think in Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves we're just going to go back to normal, maybe with the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet freedom. I do believe that one thing they'll do, and that is make it so the first few gyms will have a set order like back in the day, but open the rest to whatever we want to do. More than one game gives you the freedom to do something different. In Gen 1, you can take on Lieutenant Surge, Erika, Koga, and Sabrina in any order, with Blaine added to the mix if you beat Koga first. Gen 2 lets you fight Chuck, Jasmine and Bryce in any order as well, and Gen 3 lets you skip Brawly until Norman and Winona until before the Pokemon League. Gen 4 has Maylene and Crusher Wake in any order too. It isn't something unheard of in Pokemon games, but it is certainly something that would make it easier to balance, and even if not fully balanced, it would make it so you didn't end up with the last gym as your first. Either way, in my opinion, gyms are coming back. And my hope is that they look at Scarlet and Violet, notice what they did wrong, and just fix it for Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves. But what about you? Do you see them coming back? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Good Old Deo, Sean Speaks and Dash Plays, and my Twitch subscribers Anubis Here, Zanes222, Lazarix, The Dr. Joe, and Teixeira23 for going that extra mile. Thank you so much for all of your support.